Imagine compressing the entire history of the universe into a single calendar year, a cosmic clock where every tick marks millions of years. In this grand scale, the birth of our planet is a late arrival, and the story of life unfolds in a breathtaking rush. Earth forms in September, swirling from dust and gas, and for months it's a world of fire and chaos. Only in December does complex life appear, filling the oceans and then the land. All of human history, every civilization, every discovery flashes by in the final seconds of December 31st. The Pleistocene Epoch is one of the last, most dramatic chapters in this story. A recent era, geologically speaking, but one that transformed the world in ways we still see today. Beginning about 2.6 million years ago and ending just 11,700 years ago, the Pleistocene is a mere blink in Earth's 4.5 billion-year saga. Yet its impact is immense, shaping the very ground beneath our feet. This epoch was defined by wild, unpredictable climate swings, long, frigid glacial periods where ice covered vast continents, interrupted by brief, warmer interglacials that allowed life to flourish and adapt. Massive ice sheets advanced and retreated over and over, carving valleys, sculpting mountains, and forcing every living thing to adapt, migrate, or perish. The world was in constant motion, a place of both destruction and renewal. This was the age of giants. Woolly mammoths trudged across snowy plains, saber-toothed cats stalked their prey, and giant ground sloths lumbered through ancient forests. These incredible creatures, now known only from fossils, dominated the landscape. But the Pleistocene was also the crucible of humanity. Early humans emerged, learned to make tools, harness fire, and adapt to the harshest environments. Our ancestors spread across continents, leaving footprints and artifacts that tell the story of our origins. Imagine North America and Europe buried under a mile of ice, with sea levels so low that land bridges connected continents. In this frozen world, it was possible to walk from Siberia to Alaska, opening new frontiers for both animals and humans. Yet, the Pleistocene was far from a lifeless wasteland. It was a dynamic, ever-changing world, teeming with life. Herds of megafauna roamed vast grasslands, rivers carved new paths, and forests expanded and retreated with the ice. By understanding this epoch, we uncover the powerful forces that shaped our landscapes, drove the evolution of countless species, and set the stage for the rise of civilization itself. So let's journey back into the Pleistocene, a time when the roots of our world and of ourselves were forged in ice, fire, and the relentless march of change. When we picture an ice age, we're really imagining a glacial period, the coldest heart of the Pleistocene. These were times when the world was gripped by extreme cold, and vast stretches of the planet were locked in ice. Glacial periods are not just brief cold snaps. They are long, relentless epochs that can last tens of thousands of years, shaping the very face of the Earth. During these times, global temperatures dropped dramatically, and snow never fully melted in the far north. Each winter, new layers of snow piled atop the last, and even the summer sun couldn't melt it all away. Year after year, the snowpack grew deeper and heavier. Over centuries, this relentless accumulation of snow compacted under its own weight, transforming into dense, blue glacial ice. These ice sheets didn't just cover small areas, they expanded to blanket entire continents stretching for thousands of miles. The Laurentide ice sheet covered most of Canada and the northern US. The Scandinavian ice sheet blanketed northern Europe. These massive ice sheets were so thick, sometimes over 2 miles deep, that they pressed down on the land beneath, reshaping the continents themselves. These ice sheets weren't static. They flowed slowly like frozen rivers, grinding and sculpting the land beneath. As they moved, they carved out valleys, scraped away soil, and left behind rocky debris, creating the dramatic landscapes we see today. Their formation locked up so much water that sea levels dropped by nearly 400 feet, exposing land bridges between continents. These new pathways allowed animals and even early humans to migrate to new lands, forever changing the course of evolution and history. Life had to be tough. Tundra and mammoth steppe replaced forests, and only the hardiest animals, like mammoths, reindeer, and woolly rhinoceroses, thrived in these frigid, windswept plains. The cold, dry climate meant food was scarce and survival was a daily struggle. Forests retreated south, squeezed into refuges where the climate was milder. These pockets of green became sanctuaries for plants and animals unable to withstand the icy grip of the north. For tens of thousands of years, the glacial period was a relentless test of survival. Blizzards raged, temperatures plummeted, and only the most adaptable species could endure the harsh conditions. Every living thing, from the smallest plant to the fiercest predator, had to adapt or vanish. Some developed thick fur, others migrated with the seasons, and many evolved new ways to find food and shelter in a frozen world. These icy epochs redrew the map of the world and set the stage for epic migrations. Herds of animals crossed continents, following the shifting edge of the ice, while early humans ventured into new territories, adapting to the ever-changing environment. The glacial periods were Earth's ultimate endurance test. Only the resilient survived, evolving new strategies to cope with the cold, the hunger, and the darkness of long winters. And when the ice finally retreated, the world was transformed. Rivers carved new paths, valleys blossomed with life, and the stage was set for the rise of new ecosystems, and, eventually, the dawn of human civilization. The Pleistocene wasn't endless winter. Beneath the icy grip, the world was always changing, always in motion. Warm interglacial periods broke the cold's grip, transforming frozen wastelands into vibrant living landscapes. These interglacials, triggered by subtle shifts in Earth's orbit and the planet's tilt, brought climates as warm as today's, sometimes even warmer. Ice sheets melted, releasing vast amounts of water back to the oceans and raising sea levels dramatically. Land bridges that once connected continents vanished beneath the waves, islands formed and coastlines shifted, redrawing the map of the world. Tundra gave way to forests and grasslands. Barren expanses blossomed with new life as the climate warmed. Animals and plants migrated to reclaim new habitats, following the retreating ice and expanding into territories that had been locked in permafrost for millennia. Cold-adapted giants like mammoths and woolly rhinoceroses lost ground as their icy domains shrank, while deer, beavers, and other woodland creatures flourished in the expanding forests and wetlands. Each interglacial was a reset button for the planet, reorganizing life and landscapes, creating new opportunities and challenges for every species. We live in one now, the Holocene, where stable warmth allowed agriculture, the rise of villages, and the flourishing of civilization as we know it. But the Pleistocene reminds us, these warm spells are only temporary, brief pauses in a much longer story of change. Earth's climate engine keeps turning, driven by forces both cosmic and terrestrial, and change is always on the horizon. The interglacials were brief windows of abundance in a world ruled by ice, moments when life could surge and diversify. They shaped the rise of humanity, offering the stability needed for our ancestors to innovate, adapt, and thrive. And they remind us that stability is never permanent. Earth's story is one of constant transformation, and we are just the latest chapter. Pleistocene glaciers were nature's sculptors, reshaping continents with unstoppable force. As ice advanced, it scraped and gouged bedrock, carving U-shaped valleys, sharp peaks, and deep striations. Glaciers plucked rocks and carried them for miles, leaving behind dramatic mountain landscapes. When the ice melted, it dropped its cargo, creating moraines, kettle lakes, and fertile soils. The Great Lakes, Long Island, and Cape Cod are all glacial legacies. Even the rich soils of our farmlands were ground down and spread by ancient ice. The Pleistocene didn't just freeze the world, it built it. Our landscapes are monuments to the power of ice. The Pleistocene climate was a world of extremes, icy, dry, and ever-changing. Massive ice sheets reflected sunlight, reinforcing the cold and drying the planet. Rainfall dwindled, deserts like the Sahara expanded, and rainforests shrank. Powerful winds whipped up dust, creating fertile low soils across continents. Ocean currents shifted, sometimes causing abrupt climate swings. Life clustered around rivers and oases, adapting to harsh, unpredictable conditions. Even the air was dustier, as ancient ice cores reveal. The Pleistocene climate was a global balancing act, one that shaped every living thing. The Pleistocene was the age of giants, megafauna that dwarfed today's wildlife. Woolly mammoths, armored glyptodonts, and giant ground sloths roamed the land. Predators like saber-toothed cats and short-faced bears hunted these massive herbivores. The mammoth steppe, a vast, cold grassland, supported herds of grazers and their hunters. Thick fur, layers of fat, and specialized teeth were adaptations for survival. This ecosystem was a high-stakes drama of survival and competition. The abundance of large prey fueled a diversity of fearsome predators. The Pleistocene's giants were products of a unique, productive world. Their disappearance would change ecosystems forever. For a time, Earth was truly a land of giants. The Pleistocene was the crucible of human evolution. Early Homo species emerged in Africa, using tools to survive shifting climates. Homo erectus spread across continents, mastering fire and new technologies. In Europe, Neanderthals adapted to the cold, hunting big game and caring for their own. Homo sapiens evolved, developing art, language, and complex societies. Our ancestors migrated out of Africa, encountering and sometimes interbreeding with other humans. Adaptability and innovation gave us the edge. By the end of the Pleistocene, we were the last humans standing, ready to shape a new world. As the last ice age ended, the world changed forever. The great ice sheets melted, forests returned, and a wave of extinctions swept the globe. Mammoths, saber-toothed cats, and giant sloths vanished. The age of giants was over. Climate change and human hunting combined to push these species past the brink. The mammoth steppe disappeared, replaced by forests and tundra. Early humans, armed with new tools and strategies, became the planet's top predators. The loss of megafauna reshaped ecosystems, altering vegetation and nutrient cycles. The Pleistocene's end marked a dividing line. The wild world of giants gave way to the human-dominated Holocene. It was the end of an era, and the dawn of our own. The world would never be the same. The Pleistocene's legacy is all around us. Glaciers carved our landscapes, left fertile soils, and shaped the resources we depend on. The migrations and extinctions of the epoch set the stage for today's ecosystems. Our own evolution, our intelligence, cooperation, and adaptability, was forged in the challenges of the Ice Age. Studying the Pleistocene reveals how quickly Earth's climate can change, and how interconnected life truly is. As we face our own era of rapid change, the Pleistocene is a powerful reminder of nature's force, and our place in its story. We are, in every sense, children of the Ice Age.